Hey, hello, hello. It is Tammy with Cheers to Creativity, and I am cross-posting tonight, hopefully, over onto the Essential Stencil page. So we're going to start tonight by we're going to be using the basic set from the Stencil of the Month Club, and I'm going to be using the Scripture and Love Sayings 6x6 set as well. This is a really pretty art beaded frame that I picked up at Dollar Tree. Here we are in where we need to be, where we belong. Looks like we should push down a little more. Okay. All I did was use this shape over some watercolor paper so that I can do a design that's going to go inside this. Okay. So I'm going to lift the frame off, and you're going to see I've just cut this from a piece of watercolor paper. And what I'm going to do is lay this down first. I'm just looking for the word love. So I've scooched that there. I'm going to use just a tiny bit of tape here. I use a deeper color for the red for my word. So we're going to use this for love. I'm just going to put a little bit of this color on my plate. This is Tuscan red. A brush, we want to tap it off to offload, and then we always want to tap and offload onto some other absorbent piece of material. So I'm going to wipe off as much as I can, just to give it a couple little highlights, okay? Get a little evergreen out. I know this paint was almost gone, so let's just, if we get enough pounded out to use. So I'm going to take that paint, and I'm really going to tap it off. I really want this to be super light, okay? Lift this off. I just put a little bit where it did not belong, so what I'm going to do is just add an extra leaf down here. It's like I planned it, right? So we've got this lovely little rose, the word love, and it's going to go right in this little frame. And I think if I just turn it over, and then you can either glue this. I think I can do this with a stapler. I'm not 100% sure, but we're going to try. So I just have a regular stapler, but you get the idea that we can staple around it or glue around it, and we'll have this cute little word love with the rose in the frame. So let's grab the wood. This is just a piece of pine. It's actually a little bit extra from a porch leaner that my husband cut for me. And it is, let me see, this is 9.25 inches by 12 inches. And I want this to kind of have a fun light green and kind of a yellow bit. That was citron green, so just kind of a bright green, and this is a little bit of yellow. This is cadmium yellow, okay? I'm gonna look real quick. I'm gonna add a little bit of jeweled green, just a little bit of a brighter green, and I'm gonna put this on my plate so I can pick it up. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, just to get a nice blended color. Have a fun background. I'm going to go ahead and throw in a little more of that iridescent color. It'll be fun when it's all dry. Okay? So I've added a little more of that iridescent color. And now I'm going to pick up a little bit of the yellow that I used. That yellow was cadmium yellow. And then I'm going to actually pick up some, this is some white metallic paint. So it should have a little more of a shimmer to it. And again, sometimes these shimmers are hard for you to see when I'm doing it, but you trust me, right? So I'm going to pick up a little bit of that. And I'm just going to pick up a little more of these shimmers here, 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 here. A little more up here. And I am first going to place, let's move this stuff out of the way, one of the fairies this way. I'll find about my middle. I'll grab one of our stencil brushes. I'll pick up my paint, using the black paint, and I'm swirling it into my brush. And then I am offloading it onto my paper towel. I'm just going to hold her down. I'm going to fill in these stars with the black. So this is from the add-on. I've seen signs that say fairy crossing, which I think are really cute in the garden as well. To this when we're done. So we've got fairy garden with our little fairies flying on each side. And then I'm going to come in with something like, I'm going to use a little bit of a gold galaxy glitter. You could just use a regular, one more down here. Okay. So a fun little fairy piece, the fairy garden. And you could easily put this on a stake and it could go in your garden. It would look really, really cute. So I have base coated this piece with winter blue. That's all I have done. Winter blue is one of my favorite wintry colors. It's a decor color, but it's basically a light blue with a bit of a gray tint to it. I'm going to be using winter pines and critters for part of this, but right now I'm just going to use this tool. I'm going to go up and down first. So we've got this. I'm going to go back and grab that add-on. I'm going to grab another brush. I'll grab one of our dome brushes. I'm just going to use some regular white paint. that up. So we've got this enchanted forest. We know it's kind of snowing. I'm just going to use that same brush that I just used to apply my letters. And I'm just going to grab a little extra white paint and really extend that snow that's underneath these trees and critters. So it just kind of looks like it flows all the way across. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little clean water and I'm going to, oops, okay. Is that my white paint? Yeah. I'm going to thin it down with a little bit of water. Okay. And then I'm going to tap it on a paper towel. So I'm removing that extra moisture. And then I'm just going to use my finger and kind of go across. And it's going to make it look like it's snowing. Now, just to kind of frame it out a little bit more, I'm going to take a metallic color. This is called Ice Blue. I'm just going to tap a couple places where we might have had some snow catch on some of these letters. Especially like on this one, the T that's a little still in the forest. So I'm just tapping a little bit where the snow might have caught. And then I think what I'm going to do while that's still wet, I'll just take some diamond dust. So I'll just shake that off. And it just catches a couple little places where that paint was still wet, just to give you just a little something extra. Okay. So we've done a couple signs. Let me see what's up on my to-do list. It is 7:47. We still have a few more minutes. This transfer is still available, or was, as I was getting ready tonight. So hopefully you can still get that. Special, like this is a small piece of wood that I just base coated white. That's all I did is base coated it white. I'm going to use the words from from the premium stencil set. This little piece, the potting, I'm going to use this for the potting shed, and it is 5.5 by 9.5 inches. And it's just a piece of a plywood that's been cut. And I'm just going to, I'm doing my best to make sure that that is in the middle. I think it's pretty good. So there's my letters. And like I said, if you have that stencil that I was talking about, you certainly could just use those checks. So I'm going to push this brush really down into this paint on both sides. And when I do that, I keep a nice sharp chisel of that brush. So I can come in here and I can lay this down and go make a check as big as I want. And I can come up here and make another one. I think we'll let that be for a sec. Maybe do the top edge afterwards. I want to do one simple little Valentine project with you. And this is actually from the Cute Blush Valentine. Center and curve it this way. So yeah. So I'm just peeling this off nice and slow. Isn't that pretty? Can you imagine when you have the light in there, how pretty that shines? And they're just a fun little gift. And again, I'm just going to set him down and I'm going to kind of help him curve. So I'm just going to rub him down. Got this cute little bear. And then let's just I'm going to use the same hearts from this Love Never Fails. And because this is glass, I like to use enamel paint. You can use regular paint or you can use multi-surface paint. Dabs. There's now. So got a couple of hearts around. All right, guys. I think that about does it for me this evening. Have a great rest of your week. I can't wait to see you one more time before Christmas. Have a great night, guys. Cheers.